This episode is brought to you by the RVA Podcast Network. Find more information at rvapodcast.org.
We do not own the rights to anything or any music that's heard during the duration of this podcast. Also, a lot of these shows will have explicit content. So if you are not a fan of any cursing or profanity, you may want to walk away, but that does not mean that every show will consist of such. Welcome to season 6 of The Pass, BT. Didn't think we'd get here, but here we are. Show going a bit of a different direction, as you may have noticed near the end of season 5. Sports is still a thing, but not as much. You'll get more information about what's going on in the tech world, what's going on in the music world. We actually have kind of gotten rid of Ass of the Week. Once in a while, you may get one here and there, but I still want to stick with the main gist of passing the message to you all. So take your time, but don't waste your time as you sit and enjoy a new season of The Pass with your host, BT. What is up? What's good? How's everyone doing? Episode 347 of The Pass is here. Almost forgot the title that quick. BT back with yet another episode. And based on the title and based on who's sitting in front of me, I guess it's an amazing conversation. And it's unique, especially since he goes by the reference of amazing. I'm going to introduce him in a sec, because normally he knows I usually do the introductions and all that, but he was trying to be all soft-spoken and shy. If you go back and listen to episode 1, he was on my first episode of back when I was Brite Podcast. And I was doing, matter of fact, I take that back. I actually was the Pass Podcast. And the conversation then was about the 72-10 Bulls being better than the 73-9 Warriors, who lost that year in the finals, if I remember right. So this is my bro, my friend. I don't know how many daggone accolades I can give him. Like my basketball teammate and opponent is like literally it's respect. We call it. I mean, we had the reference of 94 feet before 94 feet was a thing. If anybody was able to push me in basketball, he was one of the few people that did it. But he also, like, we kept it basketball always. Like anytime something would go left, we'd have to be there to like clear each other up, like, bro, this ain't worth it. And it's just been an evolution of a friendship ever since. So it's been like almost like a balanced mentorship, but friendship in the end. So this is my boy Lonnie. What's going on?
I'm here. I like that intro though.
Cause I know if I gave you the lighthearted intro, you'd be like, it's just me. I'm chilling. I'm doing me. So we're here with I don't know how to describe this. I'll paint
the title though. What's the title?
What's the title? The title's Full Circle.
Full Circle. Okay. You right. Okay.
So the title's Full Circle, and I'll give context without giving context, because I'm always respectful of people's names, identities, or as they call it in the tech world, name, image, likeness.
Yeah, you don't want to slander nobody.
No, this is not. That's not the type of time I'm on.
Yeah, fact.
And number, I guess you could say 1A. My biggest thing, anyone that knows me knows my newest or biggest term that I'm always saying is I'm not about anything that's low vibration. So that is not what this is for. That's not what this is about. This is just somewhat of an open dialogue, but a fun conversation. So I'm going to talk a little bit, but I'm also going to be kind of just like moderator. This will be like a mid semi moderating podcast for me. So I'm going to start with my fun and favorite question.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of this before, but it's called the Fab Five. And it's 5 feelings. It's going to be, so May, as many of you who listen to the podcast hear me say time and time again, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm about bringing mental health awareness to the forefront.
Really?
Yeah, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. But there are 4 feelings that I got from watching the podcast, I Am Athlete. And they are: where are you at mentally, where are you at personally, where are you at professionally, and where you are creatively. Those are the first 4. And that's on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 is I'm just not feeling it. It's trash. I don't even bother with it. And 10 is I feel great. Everything's good. And then the feeling is, and there's a feelings wheel that I share with people all the time, because we're based on time constraints and I'm just not going to pull up an app to find it. Just a 1-word feeling for where you are right now. So whenever you're ready, you can give your Fab 5 of where you are mentally, professionally, personally, creatively, and your 1-word feeling.
Okay. Fab 5 for mentally?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. Man. Mentally relieved?
You gotta give a number.
A number? 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Relieved is a 10.
Okay.
I gotta go 4 more for mentally?
No. You got it. So you got mental, personal.
Okay. Personal. Now starting fresh. Oh man, I feel great. I'm going with a 10.
Okay.
I'm going with a 10 right now. I'll go with a 10 on that one.
All right. What about professional?
Professional is a 10. My job is off the chain. They love me at my job. Sometimes I don't like them, but I love to work. I'm a hard worker.
Okay. And creative?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna chalk that up about like an 8.5. But my creativity starting now is all over the place. It's a lot I want to do.
Okay, that's fair. And a 1-word feeling to describe how you feel. It can be any word that represents. You could be pissed off. You could be positive. You could be uplifting. You can't use amazing because that's your reference.
I was about to. It's in the bloodstream.
I know. I've known you long enough.
Dang. So you messed me up, man.
Yeah, that's the goal. This is not okay. Before you go any further, you should know with me long enough. I'm not doing any Powerpuff light punches. This is not that type of podcast.
All right.
Especially with it being impromptu.
I'm actually feeling, if this is a word, light. Like, got the heavy stuff up off of me.
Okay. LITE. I'm with it.
You know, I'm feeling light.
Relaxed. Okay.
Relaxed, if you want to say that.
Light or relaxed. All right.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, your word is light. So I would I guess the add on to it would be like in a relaxed state.
If I had some music, I'd be feeling groovy.
Right. If I didn't have to fight copyrights, I would do that because I want to keep my show going. Anyone who's heard my show knows that I put in the intro, we do not own the rights to any music or any info, but that's good. That's that's a solid Fab 5. Normally, and this is funny because when you came on the show, I talked sports.
Yeah.
Now, and
we can go all over the place.
Lonnie's a co-moderator with me with a sports group that I've been less active in for good reason. Because and we've talked about this outside of the group. The topics, I understand the topics people share, but the opinions get a little out of hand.
They get professionally stupid. Oh, my fault. Professionally crazy sometimes.
That's fair. That's either term can reference it. And to give y'all a general idea why I'm saying that or why we're both saying that is because it's nothing wrong. Let me be clear with where I'm about to go with this. There's nothing wrong with people having an opinion on a topic. I'm never going to say no one should have an opinion. It's when the opinion gets so chaotic to the point that I'm like, do I want to delete this app again? Am I at that point? Like, I think you've had times where you've said, man, I'm off the grid. I'm off the grid. I'm cool. And I'm like, I get it. He co-moderates a music group with me as well. I need to get you into the men's group. We'll link with that after the show. Okay. It's a men's mental group a friend of mine worked with me. Like, he came to me and said, we need to do this group. And I think it's a great thing. I
need to get into a men's mental group. Get my mental right, man, because my mental do be all over the place.
That's why I asked the mental.
It do be up and down sometimes.
So do you want to go back? Do you still want to stick with that 10 right now?
Let's keep it at fair 5. I put it at fair 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I changed it at 5.
All right. And that, like I said, it's not me forcing you into that. I'm just asking you authentically.
You're right. I go with a fair 5.
Yeah.
Because it could go a 10 by the time I get up. It was a 10 when I came in. Mm-hmm. It could be a 1 when I leave out.
Right.
You know.
Does the dynamic change based on the conversations you have with other people?
No. It's just me. I'm my own worst enemy.
Okay. Talk about it.
You know, don't nobody mess me up more than me. If I'm at work and I feel like I'm doing enough, and my boss, my manager be like, "Oh, you doing enough?" And, nah, I'm not doing nothing.
Right.
I want to do more. Okay. Even it goes into my life, social every day. I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Okay. So I'm gonna reference this to basketball, but give context as to where Lonnie is about this, because him and I, we agree about our. I don't want to use the term GOAT because I think I'm not a fan of that term.
Okay.
I can't, because I think it was a post that somebody put up about the tiers of different players in the pyramid, and that just kind of had me. I was like, hold on.
I think people just be trying to press buttons. Man.
Right. Throw somebody somewhere or just make a conversation.
Clickbait type stuff. Yeah.
Right. So Lonnie is a hardcore, diehard, ride or die, true to the test Jordan fan.
Facts.
And him and I have always, for years, I will tell him, I say, I respect Jordan. Jordan is that dude. Jordan did work. No one can take away anything that he's done on the level of basketball. My counter is I'm a Kobe guy. I think when he met me and us playing ball together, I think I had a Kobe jersey at that time. Like I wish I still had it. It was a gold. To this day, I still remember it was a gold Kobe jersey that looked like it was messed up on one side, but the spot that I got it from is no longer in existence. But the guy who was selling jerseys, that was literally I had a jersey plug at that time. And it's relevant because even in the time of me having different jerseys, I had a 45 Jordan jersey that I would wear at times. But I always was on the side of Kobe. Why I bring those two names up is because they both had like that fight or flight mentality. For you, in the years of me knowing you as a friend and as a person, you were your number one fan, but you were also your hardest critic. We could play ball. You could have had 20 points in the game. And you'll be like, but I mean, I didn't get everybody else involved in the game. And I'd be looking at you like, but we won. And it was the same, and it's the same way for me from the Kobe mentality of the Mamba mentality of I would get out and I might hit 6 threes, and they'll say, all right, we're going man. And I'm like, I don't want to get the ball. And you'll be like, Brian, come to the ball. Just
come to the ball, man.
You gonna make your plays because everybody's gonna play you. And I was like,
you was always into getting your own points, not scoring really off of nobody else.
Yeah,
I get my own rebound. I tap it up 50 times and get my own stuff. You go ahead and do what you do. No, man, come get this ball. You know, set up for your shot. Go around the screen. Do what you do.
Right. That's true. No, that's true. Like, and that's what like. That's how our friendship has evolved over the years because the two of us have had like fun conversations about basketball on endless levels. And it's even to the point like we didn't do it this year, but normally we'll sit down and be like, all right, let's watch the NBA Combine because it's trash. And we just see, it ain't even about watching the people do like the drills, the sprints. I don't care about that. I want to see, put him in a 5v5 game, see how he looks under pressure. Is he going to show up or is he going to shut down? And there's a couple guys who I would like to see. I still want to see how it's going to all play out because, like, the only problem now is a lot of your stars don't play in those games. But you know, it is what it is. But I brought all of that up because you give. This is everything I'm saying to you is things I'm saying to myself. Because we're so hard on ourselves about what we're trying to do, we ignore giving ourselves grace or giving ourselves credit because we look at it as. But I'm getting everybody else to get what they need to get. But it's like, bro, look at what you like. I say this to a friend of mine, and I'm saying this to you because we can talk about it on a true statement. Just think of where you were a year ago. Just think about it. Don't even don't put the thought of it. Don't analyze it. Just think of where you were a year ago. Think of where I was a year ago.
Yeah. You know, with me, I don't do accolades and, oh, you're doing a good job and whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Like for Father's Day. Hey, happy Father's Day. Right. I don't get all crazy about it.
Right, yeah.
You know, I say thank you and people be like, oh, what's wrong? Why you gotta act like that? You're a good father. I be like, I just do what I'm supposed to do as a father.
You show up and
you know, I do what I'm supposed to do to go to work.
Right.
You know, at work. It ain't me doing extra, or if I see somebody over there working too hard and they by themselves, I'm going to go help them. It ain't me trying to get the accolades.
You do it.
If I'm playing basketball and I feel like I can't score, I'm going to go ahead and play defense.
Right.
Or I'm going to get the ball up. I'm going to set my man up to get open, find some other things out. It's just doing other things. I don't need the accolades for it.
Right.
You know, or nothing like that. And I just feel like I do what I'm supposed to do. You know, it was a time in my social life, in my real life, with my kids. I have 2 different sets of kids, by 2 different moms. And I would never take a picture with my kids if I didn't have all my kids together.
Right.
You know, and it was, everybody was like, oh, that's not fair, and, you know, you're a good father. Okay, but however I'm a good father if I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I don't need no rewards or accolades for doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
That's how I took it. That's how I carry it on everything.
Right.
You know?
I'm gonna play on that. Cause you did it so much that you didn't even realize you were doing it. Anytime you would post any photos, anything, especially if it was family related, there were 2 hashtags you always used. For the longest time I didn't understand it, but then I understood it as I got older, and I was like, FOEWAWG, what is this? And then I was like,
family over everything, and we all we got.
Right. So explain in your best breakdown, like explain that to listeners of how important those 2 are to you.
We all we got, I got from my brother Kenny.
Right.
And his boy, who was like his brother to us, my other little brother named John.
Okay.
And they had the "We All We Got" tattooed on their hand. I used to be like, man, what's that? They're like, "We all we got." Now me, I could never get the tattoo on my hand because it hurt. I was a sucker. And I was like, okay, I like the "We All We Got."
Right. And
then I would see the FOE, family over everything.
Right.
And one thing about me, how I grew up, I'm the oldest of, on my mom's side, 7 kids.
Yeah.
So my mom lived long enough to see 7 of her kids get taken away at early ages, to where we were separated. Some got adopted, some went into foster care. I didn't start meeting everybody till I was almost in my 30s.
Right.
My brother Dane came back, my brother Mikey, my brother Norman, my sister Keisha. So moms got to live long enough to see 6 out of 7 kids come back with their kids.
Yeah.
So to me, family was like, hey, and I'm gonna say this as well. Just because you have family that's blood, that don't make them family. I grew up with people in my life that I still talk to this day. That's more to me than family.
Like the person on the other side of the microphone.
Yeah, facts. So when I say family over everything, it's us.
Yeah.
Me, you know, everybody else.
Anybody that you connected with,
You know, the Grill Brothers. You know, Mr. 30 dropped on me, Juno. You know, even Nate Sean, I consider him family.
Right. No.
You know?
I agree.
And it's just a tight-knit family. And when I say the "we all we got" come into it, it's just we all we got. Because at the end of the day, all you got left, you might lose everybody else and social people, friends that you consider friends, or, you know, the play cousin or whatever, stuff like that.
Right.
But your family is there. The people that's been there with you when you ain't have nothing, when you got something, when you did something wrong, to tell you, hey, you doing something wrong, but we gonna do it together. Right. You still doing it wrong, or when you're doing something right. You know, those people, those the family. So family over everything, man.
Yeah.
You know, your mom is my mom.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
She asked about you just as quick as anything else. She'd be like, how Lonnie doing? Doing okay.
Yeah. Anytime your friend mom was willing to beat you or slap you upside your head because they gonna slap them upside the head, that's your mom, man.
Yeah. One of our mutual friends who always asks about you, Kiana. She
man,
immediately, like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, oh, he doing all right. Yo, we need to link up. I'm like, okay, I got you. Like, so no, you're 100% right. I'm trying not to get emotional thinking about this because this is how I learned why I bring that up, because I realized you always looked at me as family from jump.
Always.
I'm really trying not to cry.
Always, from day one, man. Oh, you used to come in with your Bryant jersey on, the infamous Kevin Garnett jersey, though. Not the Boston Kevin Garnett. We going Minnesota Kevin Garnett jersey. The bald head.
Yeah, the Scottie Pippen. I think you was there because when I had the Scottie Pippen USA jersey. You remember, you were back. Like,
everybody used to like, oh, BT, come on, Brian. And nobody really wouldn't play with you or give you a play because you was the quiet kid, stayed in the corner, stayed on the bleachers and stuff like that.
And as soon as you saw it, you saw it. You was seeing that fire in my eye. Like, you saw the fire in my eye.
I seen it, and you was just giving people buckets. I'm like, man, he don't discriminate when it comes to jump shots. You was giving Jennifer Lee, Chris Robinson buckets. Like, you was giving legends buckets in the club. And I was like, that's my man, something for the people right there.
Yeah. You gave
something
me that nickname.
For the people.
So something for the people, to give context, is a music group.
Yeah.
And he literally, from the time we started playing ball together, he was like, yo, that's something for the people.
Something for the people, because he got something for everybody. He ain't discriminating. Boy, girl, it don't matter. Old man, young kid.
Yeah, if you was on the court, you was catching. I ain't care. Yeah. I was about you, because I was like you in between the lines. I wasn't about to cut corners, because I thought that was how the game. I feel like this. The game is played. Basketball to me is equal. It's, you treat everybody how they gonna, like, I ain't giving nobody no. I'm not gonna disrespect. Oh, she a girl, don't check her. No, you might drop 50 on me, and then I got to live with that. So we had some. We experienced playing with some dope female basketball players. Yeah, like a lot of good people, a lot of good basketball. And then too, I think what I valued the most being there was the camaraderie.
Yeah,
because it was like, all right, look, we played. It was a tough game. Like, I think we didn't talk. I didn't talk to you, but I was telling somebody about it. One of my craziest rivals to this day is still BB.
Oh, BB was that dude.
Because we literally was like, both of us were good shooters.
Yeah.
So it would be like, if we were playing against each other, it was, I'm going at you.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, I'm going at you too. And it was like, all right, cool. We're going, somebody going to win, and the biggest thing that you had to get me in the awareness of, and I had to get me in the awareness of, was I would sit on the loss. Like, a loss would come up and I was like, yo, that was just like a bad. And you'd had to come to me. And a lot of people would come, they'd be like, look, it's just one game, man. One game. And it's funny because now that translates into me today. Like, when I play, kids are playing the bone, when they had the bone pool set up, or just playing ball, they'd be like, yeah, I did this. And I was like, no one's really going to keep up with all that.
Yeah, I remember there's been times where I witnessed you miss 10 straight, and you don't even want to play no more.
Right.
I'm like, man, you better come on, keep shooting that ball, and you'll hit the game winner.
Right. Yeah.
And it'll be like, come on, man. Or you make the infamous
teardrop
20 tap rebound. You keep tapping it, and then you make the tap in, and like, come on, man, keep playing. Let's go.
Right. Nah. Solid truth, man.
Let's go. Keep playing. Keep going.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Don't give up, man. As many times as you and many other people told me, don't give up.
Yeah.
And it's funny how,
full circle.
I grew up, full circle. I grew up with a dude named Terrence Simon, who's my brother to this day. Still talk to him. I need to talk to him more, so chalk it up on my brain, not my heart.
Right.
And, I was an abusive kid when I was small, when I was growing up. My mom used to beat us and, and it was days where I was just so sad and everything. But this dude, Terrence, was like, he'll put a smile on my face. Wouldn't even know it.
Right.
Whether he was talking about somebody's mama, snapping on somebody's sneakers or whatever, or just saying anything, he would just put a smile on my face. Not even knowing I got beat that day. I got whelps all over my body.
Yeah.
I'm still in the same clothes I wore for like 2-3 weeks straight.
Right.
I didn't eat for a week. He ain't know none of that. But he just kept me smiling. He changed how I felt. If not for that moment, for the day.
Right.
Just hanging with him, man. And most men don't say this, but I fell in love with Terrence. I fell in love with everybody I grew up with on St. Nicholas.
Yeah.
And we became family. And I say that to you and everybody else. It's been days, man, where you'll come through, we'll have a game night, BT Express on deck. it's been days, man, where I've been down in my dumps and everything. You know, and I will give you a good speech to uplift you. Yeah, and I'm down as hell.
Right. Yeah,
you know, and you wouldn't even know it.
True. Yeah.
And man,
because I think the last time I came by and hung out, I think I was in like the trenches of what was going on with where I'm at now, which, you know, like I said earlier, full circle, like I was down, working there full time. So that was like, all right, we here. Like, because literally, I think I texted you. It was like, yeah, man, I got it. I turned the app in. I was waiting on the background. Man, you gonna be all right, man. That back. Don't even worry about that joint.
Be all right, man. I didn't know how you worry about that mess, man.
Yeah,
you gonna be all right, man. We had some adventures though, man.
We did, but like we were joking about it earlier. Like, so for instance, with basketball, let me go ahead and I'm gonna put all the names out there: Matt Thomas, D. Friga, T. Jazz, Sergio, East Coast, West Coast. Nick Briz, Chris White, all those guys that are doing what they do now, we did that without cameras.
Did that without cameras, man.
Like, all they do was a cameraman.
Yeah, did that, man. I don't care what nobody say. They got Ben Wallace Gym, my man Manny Harris. Shout out to Manny. Yeah. Blacktop Kings and Queens. Dope program.
Great program.
Even when he was doing his recreations on Saturdays. It was nothing better on Saturdays. The best basketball ever played in the city of Richmond was at the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah. On Saturday.
Every Saturday.
The best players from everywhere. Like, on Saturdays, we grouped up, and it was and some of them friendships are still going on to this day.
Yeah, because matter of fact, a couple of the guys all recently coached Verona.
Yeah, you see Boomer. Like, come on.
Boomer Kennard.
Kennard won championship, even on AAU.
Right.
So come on, man. Imagine if we had cameras back then. Yeah, cell phones.
Oh gosh, yeah,
man.
Yeah, some of the highlights. See, like YouTube won't even in existence. And I know it's like one of those. I know it's a reminiscent moment for because a lot of people probably like, what you mean before cameras? I'm like, oh, there was no.
Can you imagine these people saying Chris Robinson come up court, shoot a 3-pointer from half court, and then backflip all the way back down on defense,
and was like literally. When it's so weird when you watch people play now and you telling somebody sit. It's like, no, we knew to sit. Like, we knew how to play defense.
Jermaine Terry shooting that arch, you think it's gonna hit the top of the ceiling, and that joint go all net.
Perfect rainbow,
like, come on, man, what?
Yeah, that was I literally picked up my floater between watching him play, and also from Jalen Rose when he was in Michigan and Chicago.
Can't forget the intimate. God bless the dead, my man.
Benny.
My man Benny with the 50 dunks. Hold on. Let me dunk this before we start the next game. Benny got to do the halftime show for every game.
Benny was going to dunk every chance he had. Yeah. It was consistent. I think one of the most unique dunking, I always want to say it wasn't a dunk contest, but it was kind of like a little battle at the time. Was like seeing him and Vernon go at it.
Vernon Holt was a monster, man.
They both had like, you know, just could bounce, had plenty of bounce.
Vernon Holt, God bless the day on Thomas. Thomas is a monster on the boards too. He used to talk so much junk. I thought I talked junk.
Yeah,
Thomas talked so much junk.
He back it up. when him and Keon play ball together, we have like reminiscent times.
Everybody, man. Yeah, had everybody come through. The Mickle brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely was a bucket. They would either one of them I play ball with. I was like, yeah, they was ready. They always was ready to play.
Used to always have to break up that Armstrong crew. The Mont Dogs, Kennard, Terry, Ray. They always wanted to play together. Like, nah.
And they'd all had the shorts on.
Yeah. Jermaine Royster. Chris was wild too. We had some ballers come through there, man.
Yeah.
My man Terrell Stewart.
Yep. Yeah,
we had some ballers come through there.
We did. It was, and like I said, it was a lot of times it was fun because it was some days I would just come to the court, and I just sit. I was like, hey, they'd be like, you playing? Nah, I want to spectate.
Sometimes you gotta watch, man,
because it wasn't even like spectating. Like I'm scouting to see what they're doing. I'm just like, I want to learn like what I need to work on, like what because the thing with basketball, and I think that's what's so tough now is yes, everybody's being themselves, but a lot of times it's just taking that one good thing and being great at it. Like, we talk about basketball. We joke about it all the time. There are two guys who get flack for how they play, but it's like one could be better, and one has excelled in doing so. Ben Simmons, Giannis. Ben Simmons is a great passer, but because all of his other things aren't as great, like they give him a hard time about shooting.
That's my thing, though. I don't get it. If you good at something, regardless of what somebody say, you have to be comfortable with yourself. Right. And this goes into basketball, life, and everything.
Right.
If I feel like this. If I could take you off the dribble and anywhere within that baseline or mid-range,
I can score.
I'm 90%.
Right.
Why are you forcing me to pull out and shoot 3 pointers?
Right.
For what?
Yeah. True.
I'm comfortable enough. I take the hit. If they double team me, I'm good enough as a dribbler and a passer. I could pass out that double team.
Right.
I'm good enough to run around screens to where I don't need the ball in my hand to set up myself. I'm good with that.
Right.
Now, if I'm comfortable with that, there's no need for me to think, oh, maybe I need to be better.
Right.
I'm comfortable. Let me be comfortable. With Giannis, then you got the ones that fail. Okay, I'm comfortable enough with taking you off the dribble. Anywhere in the mid-range, I'm 100%. Okay, now let me broaden up my game.
Right.
So that way I can get them to check me out further. That way I could go past them, take them off the dribble, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's different qualities of people in life. And people got to understand and accept that. Sooner or later.
Yeah. I've had this comment, and I think I put this as a status one time. This, like, outside of basketball, I was like, people who work in person or in office, people who are remote, people who are hybrid, and people that are unemployed, I can throw that in. All four of them have to find their way to relate to the other people.
Yeah. Because
some people who are fully remote working don't understand a person that's going to work every single day. And some people who work every single day don't take into account that some people may be working from home and might need hey, look, I need you to shut up.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's like that balance of understanding of like where you are with things and how you look at it. Because those like every player that we play ball with all knew what their strength was.
Yeah, everybody. Like when I play with you, I know you coming up court, catch shooting off the dribble, you're gonna make 60-70% of those.
Right.
But I also know you catching the ball, catch and shoot is gonna make 90 to 100%.
Right.
I'm gonna let you catch and shoot.
I'm gonna give you the pocket
all
shot.
day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you continuously bring the ball up.
Right.
Because I know either way you're comfortable with it, but you'd rather have the catch and shoot.
Right.
So I'm not gonna take you out of your position or make you feel no kind of way because how I feel.
Right.
You know that?
Like this is wow. You just saying that makes a lot of sense. So, and it's not that it didn't make sense before, but it makes sense even more. Like, this is why I like but hate James Harden. I know I said this won't be a sports podcast, but whatever. Harden is technically a shooting guard.
Yeah.
But because of the NBA and because we're positionless, he is 1, 2, and sometimes 3, but more so 1 and 2. So when he was with Oklahoma, Westbrook was the main, and Harden was their 2 guard for their second unit because they really didn't start him a lot because they were pretty much looking for him to be like that 6th man to help off the bench. He got to Houston, green light, put him at point. They put him at point, and it was a love-hate relationship. But then it was like weird circumstances of you have Chris Paul, you have Russell Westbrook, who are point guards, period, point blank. Why is Chris Paul not bringing the ball up? Why is Russell Westbrook not bringing the ball up? You got your ball-dominant point guard who's a shooting guard bringing the ball down. And for me, it was the same way with playing ball. Most of the time, I made it my goal to not have to be a ball-dominant player because I would tell, and I think I used to be I was so loud because I didn't care. I'd be like, they're playing a zone. We're going to shoot them out of the zone.
All day.
Every time. And they'd be like, oh, we got to play. It wouldn't even be, we might not even switch. But by the time it was switching coming up, they're like, all right, look, we got to play man. Y'all should have played man. It's too late now. Because now we're going to find, because everything in basketball is about finding you find the issue, you find where the gap is. Like, I love Isaiah Thomas that played, like, the current Isaiah Thomas. He's a defensive liability. No one wants to say that, and I love it. Like, I think he could still get his shine in the league, but if I got somebody checking me that's 5'11", 5'10", I'm going at him. Like, I don't care what, unless his defense heightens to that level of I'm a threat.
Yeah, you gotta.
And Lord, don't even get me started on Pat Beverly. I think Pat Beverly's he's an offensive nightmare. Like, yeah, he plays good defense, but he's not somebody that I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna be that lockdown defender. Because he tried. Like, I learned how bad it was with him when he checked Durant that series. Because it was like, okay, he gave Durant a hard time, but then it's like Durant is one of the. Yeah. You'll understand this because when I say this, it literally is just the raw truth. You can't teach 7 foot. You just can't. Like a 7-footer that can shoot, you give him the ball and let him do whatever he wants. He has that mentality of I'm gonna get my points, and he did that. He does that. Like I think he said on the podcast, he's the type of player that doesn't care to go for like 60, 70, 80 points because he doesn't. He's just about getting a high clip, high enough for the team to win. Not I got to go out here and get 50, 60 a night.
My thing with the Kevin Durant, Pat Beverly thing. Pat Beverly was playing good, intimidating defense on him and everything. That was cool.
Right.
My problem was with Kevin Durant was Kevin Durant still wanted to shoot over Pat Beverly.
Yeah, instead of getting to that
you got to
block.
pick the ball up off the dribble on the smaller defender.
Right.
He already there by the time you get to your waistline.
Right.
Post him up.
Yeah.
You got to, they throw different things at you. You got to adapt to the situation. Post them up and go. If LeBron can actually make plays without the ball in his hand continuously and figure like, if I see all my big dudes up top, I'm going in the hole. I'm posting up.
Right.
Because I know in street ball, whether I'm going to have somebody on me that's my height or shorter.
Yeah.
I'm a bully ball and why everybody want to be shooters.
Yeah, of course.
It's a difference of experience and mental stuff.
Same.
So, yeah. Post them up. You big.
Yeah.
You could work out whatever you got to do down in there. Fade away, mid range, spin, dip in, sidestep, or whatever you got to do.
Right.
But you got to think smart. You can't always stay with what you know and think it's going to get better.
So does that from a sport perspective and also from a real life perspective, is that coaching?
Yeah, of course. You got to coach yourself. You got to.
Is that the coach? But the actual head coach handling how those plays are handled, or
head coach not playing though.
True.
The head coach seeing what you probably not seeing, but you on that court, you should already see everything.
Now here's my follow up because I was telling your dad this, and I don't know if I think we might have had that conversation that day. We were sitting watching last year, and we were playing. Matter of fact, I was on the sideline. I think everybody else had started playing. It was like, yeah, you'll play next. I was like, sure, that's fine. So we were sitting there. I was telling your dad, I was like, basketball is geometry. Even if you're not a math person, if you're not a math player, you don't have to be. But if you look at it, what helps and hurts a lot of players is spacing. If you run a 5, and we played again. As a matter of fact, I think last year when we went out there and played, it was literally like 5 guys, everybody on the wing. And it's like, this is bad geometry because all they're going to do is you're ending up putting yourself in a position to play iso ball because you're either going to have your point guard try too hard to score, your 2 wings who don't know how to move, because a lot of time, and that was something I had to learn the hard way, was having what's called cinder block feet in offense. Like now, and I think it's because I'm getting back into the game of it. It's like I still got to. All right, you got to move. Because if you move, that's how you make your space.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys don't think of moving because they're just looking at it as I'm going to wait over here and shoot this high range, low quality shot. Yes, the 3-point in the corner is the closest 3-pointer, but it's not as easy when you're putting a person in a position of drive, force your man to double team, and then they shoot only for it to be a risk of that point guard that just, or whoever drove to the basket has to be able to get that rebound because you already got everybody else on the wing. I know I'm like going on a roundabout way about it, but it's one of those things like, and I think I talked to you about it before. This is why I like listening to Kevin Garnett's podcast because he talks about it the same. Like I look at the game just like he does. I'm like, I don't have anything against stretch bigs. I don't have anything against guys who can shoot a 3. But if you shoot more 3s and you can't get rebounds, you're not any benefit to me. Heaven forbid if I ask you to set a pick.
Look, just imagine when I used to play with my dad used to always say, and I still tell this to everybody I play with, when it's a bunch of just shooters on the other team.
Right.
They shoot, you go.
Right.
Because it's more likely we're going to get the boards because all of them out there.
True.
So now when you go, we did this 2 Sundays ago out there. I'm telling the young boys, they shoot, you go up top. You checking your man, he gonna get the ball. He shoot, you go.
Yeah, we
killing them. We going to 16 scores like 6-2. They complaining now. Y'all hanging court. How are we hanging court? Y'all shooting bricks. Y'all choosing to shoot. Nobody's dribbling or coming in the mid range.
Right.
Y'all just want to Steph Curry all day. We getting the rebounds because y'all all the way out there. My man sliding out because he know y'all gonna shoot, and I'm yelling.
Right.
He's shooting, you go.
Yeah.
We throwing football passes all day.
Yeah.
We not breaking the sweat of nothing, BT.
Because the long range. Because the long range.
Ugly out there.
Yeah. Anytime you shoot a jumper like that, it's always. And I used to say it all the time to people. I'm like, it's nothing wrong with shooting jumpers, but it's a long rebound.
Yeah. And it was so to the point. They'll come, the guard will come in, he'll have a fast break, kick it to his man who he think he cut into the hole. Yeah. He'll catch the ball and dribble back to the three just to shoot the three.
Right.
And we only playing twos and ones.
Ones and
like,
twos,
come on, dude.
Yeah.
Y'all got it mixed up. Basketball now is a positionless, smart man basketball game. You got to have.
But it's a piss poor definition of ISO ball too.
It is.
I'm agreeing with you on your point of it, but it's like I mentioned, all the guys who are in like the different creators, all great basketball players. When I watch a lot of their videos, it's one guy hard dribbling, doing their work, trying to get to this spot that is not like everyone knows every player in basketball has their spot. Chris Paul, the elbow. Kevin Durant, side basket, elbow most of the time. Tim Duncan, when he was playing, backboard on the sideline.
Okay.
Dirk Nowitzki, they put the logo on the floor where his spot was. That's how much he was shooting there. My point is, when people do that, unless it's something that is just an unstoppable play, we see it coming. Going back to what you said, if I know I'm playing against a guy and his goal is going to be he going to sit on the wing and shoot threes, yeah, you giving me a reason to do outlet passes. You're not sitting there and talking about something I'm hanging. No one's hanging court. If you shot a bad shot, that's your fault because you shot a bad shot. You can't get back on defense because you don't understand. When you miss that three, you don't understand how to go for your rebound. You're not thinking of, hey, the person that you just played, if you miss your shot, now you got to play defense. Because, and this is the other part of it, players ignore they ignore defense to put emphasis on offense. The term that's used today, which I hate because I don't understand it, is the term two-way player. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world because everyone is supposed to be a two-way player. But that's another conversation for another show.
It's to the point now where a person will dribble 50 times to get one move when he had you bite on the first move.
Yes.
Anthony Naylor will cross you over and go.
Yeah.
Just imagine if BB and Ant Naylor cross you over and then backed up to keep
and
doing
reset.
it.
Yeah.
That's what they do now. Like, just go. You doing what? You know.
It's a dude that does a basketball camp, and he was explaining that to a kid. He was like, if you got him on the move, if you already realize the ball is in your right hand, like people who don't play basketball but can visualize this, you're on the left wing. You have your guy who's defending you. You put all these sets of moves together, which ain't really a massive amount of moves, but it's enough to say, all right, I got my defender shook, but not stumbling. Because you want to go for the highlight. That's the issue.
Thing.
So it's like, I got them on the move. My left hand knows that I have enough space where I don't feel them and I've already passed them. Right hand should be like, all right, we're going to the basket. No, I'm coming right back. Let me just tear up some more moves.
Because the video I saw of the dude doing the shake and bake and the dude fell, he dribbled 10 times. So I got to dribble 10 times.
Right.
No, not knowing you had him on the first two dribbles.
Right. Yeah, everyone doesn't need the bag when it comes to like making a play. I'm gonna rotate back to family real quick because I wanted to. This is where I was going when I initially got emotional, but I think I'm good now. So,
right.
Rest her soul, Auntie Sharon.
Yes.
Always kept me on my toes when it came because I was the undercover DJ basically. And so we did. We do sessions. I would come to family gatherings, and the first couple of times it was like. Most people knew I was like part of the crew, but then when I started to show up more frequently, they was like, "Oh, that's BT." When I learned that with her, and when I learned that with everybody in the family, was like, Brian is always like I always was seeing his family like. Our mutual Angie, when she was talking about it before, she was like, "Yeah, you here?" And it's like everybody seen you and say what's up and what's going. I was like, because I done seen practically all of them grow up.
Everybody,
they done seen me grow up.
Yeah.
So it's like that made me understand how much family was to you, and it still is to you to this day.
Yeah, Auntie Sharon, man. To me, I always call Auntie Sharon the brains. Me and Auntie Sharon had a crazy dope relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm the third grandchild.
Right.
So Auntie Sharon was still young. And in my young days, I was running away from home, wilding out, stealing money from my grandmother. And I didn't care about my life, so I definitely didn't care about nobody else's life.
Right.
What I was doing on the streets. And Auntie Sharon's like, hold on, man. We not going to do this. You're not going to do this to my mother, first off.
Right.
And I love you enough so you don't do it to yourself.
Yeah.
She put me in the group home for adult teenagers. It was called Under 21.
Okay.
I was about like 19 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to be here. She was like, it ain't up to you no more. You stay here, get yourself together. These people will help you.
Right.
And I was like, all right. And I stayed there. And I seen things differently. And if Auntie Sharon would have never took that time to, come to a kid that was broken. I mean, I was broken and just didn't care at the time. Selling drugs, wilding out, robbing, not just robbing people, but robbing my grandmother. Going in her pocketbook. Right. Senseless, stupid stuff. Instead of taking, she'll have 100, instead of taking 50 or 20, I'm taking the whole 100. And then come back the next day, hey, Grandma, how you doing? I'm stupid. And Auntie Sharon seen and was there for all that. Yeah. She was like, I'm putting you in here. I'm going to sign you in, and this where you stay at. Yeah. And I stayed there until I couldn't stay there no more. But by the time I had to go, I was good. A funny thing with my Auntie Sharon, and God bless my cousin Mel, who was like a brother.
Man, Mel.
It was me, him, and our friend named Jimmy Knox.
Okay.
It was winter time. And we supposed to took some library books back to the library. We hanging out, teenagers. Man, we gotta go over to the library, man. Like, come on, man. We had about a good 12 books, right? Right. She's like, I need y'all to take these books. I was like, man, come on, Auntie. It's nice and cool outside, but it's cold outside. I was like, all right. So we go. We decided to see a park and stuff like that and forgot all about going. We ain't going to the library. We just threw them down the train thing. We threw them down the subway station, down the stairs. And we wound up going to the park and chilling on the park. We all was out of school that day early. And we fell asleep on the benches. I mean, we was knocked out. Got back to Auntie Sharon's house to take Mel home. Jimmy was staying there until his mom got from work. I was living all the way in my grandmother's house. Man, I got back to my grandmother's house. Auntie Sharon came over there hooping and hollering, and beat my tail, beat Jamel's tail. She got with Jimmy, but his mom took care of him. Right. And we was like, well, what happened? Why you beating her? Did you take them books to the library? We lying. Yeah, we took it to the library. Yeah. Come to find out, it was on the news.
Oh, wow.
And a homeless person set the train station on fire because they were staying in the subway station using the books because it was cold down there. It was wintertime. Yeah. Oh, man. Wow. For years, she had to pay on that. She was paying it was a credit thing. And she used to I was like, Auntie, I'm sorry about them books and this and that. Yeah. And when she passed away, she had a hospice, but she passed away at home. They made her stay at home. Right. So she could see the family and stuff. Yeah. And I told her, I'm sorry about the books and stuff. She started laughing. She said, I love you. Yeah. And I was like, okay. But for years, she had to pay that. Wow. For years. And she was like, okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I think when you told me I didn't take that news well at all. I was like, because she was. I mean, like I said, I love her. Everybody in the family, just about, I'm legit with. Like, Lynn, Auntie Lynn, we always chop it up.
Auntie Lynn is just
anytime she comes to get together, we always chop it up about different stuff. So
Auntie Lynn taught me forgiveness. Like her forgiveness, like Auntie Lynn taught me forgiveness.
Right.
And she has the biggest heart and everything.
Right.
And Auntie Lynn, when she took me in, I was one of her kids. That's my Monty. My mother aunt.
Right.
I call her my Monty.
Yeah.
And all her kids, my cousins, is cousins' brothers / sister cousins.
Right.
So, Auntie Lynn is on a whole nother level with it.
Yeah. No,
I remember for years she wouldn't wear pants. Like she was that.
She was in that type of vibe.
Like that time, like
right.
Auntie Lynn, just so much love with Auntie Lynn. Me and Auntie Lynn been through a lot.
Right.
So
so I got 2 ways I'm gonna come at. Yeah, we at the home stretch.
Nah, you good.
I got 2 ways I'm gonna come at it. Either if it's other things you want to talk about, or we can go into the wrap up.
I mean, it don't matter to me, man. I'm just enjoying life. This time I love life.
Yeah.
Like I always say, family over everything, man. My kids is good.
Yeah.
Kids is grown. So that's good. My dad wasn't in my life all the time. Until we got a good relationship.
That's good.
I always say he was a piss poor dad, but he an awesome grandfather though. And we got a great relationship now. We talk and everything. I got into basketball to get close to him.
I remember. We talked about it. We talked about that. Because anytime y'all played together, that was like that was y'all bond. That was true bonding time for you. Yeah, no, I remember. I remember like to a T. Because I mean, we would go to certain courts. It's so funny because now going to Pine Camp, I'd be so confused. But like we literally lived at Pine. You'd be like, bro, what you doing? Yeah, man, I just got off work, but let me get dressed real quick, and I throw on clothes because I think I was living up the street from Pine Camp at one point.
I know when we first came down here, we did a dream team. We was like, we're gonna go dream team the ball everywhere. Yeah. I wish we had cell phones and everything. It was me, my dad, my sister Nisa, my cousin Mel.
Yeah.
And who else we had with us? We had one more person.
Right.
And we would just go from everywhere, from Churchill, Blackwell.
Right.
When Blackwell was Blackwell.
Blackwell, yeah, I remember.
And we went to Blackwell and we killed everybody in Blackwell, right?
Right.
And they said, oh, y'all good and everything, but y'all can't go over here, though. On the other side of Hall Street, it's a park right there where the courthouse used to be. It's a park. It was like, y'all can't go over there. They don't like no newcomers or people they don't know over there.
Right.
We like, what? We hopped in. My dad had a blue station wagon. Hopped in that joint, go over there.
Right.
We get out. They deep in the park. They looking at us. Who got net? Man, we beat the crap out them dudes. And we, from that day on, we played a good 6-7 games.
Right.
Won every one. From that day on, we was the only ones allowed to come over there. And we wasn't even from Southside. We was coming from the East End.
Yeah.
We was coming from the East End. So we would go Churchill, Shimbo, Bill Robinson, Pine Camp. The police station had courts then on 9 Mile.
Yep.
We would go everywhere in ball. Lux Field was like the home base because we would just tear up.
Yeah, Lux Field was.
We just tear up.
Lux Field was a wild court. Yeah.
We got my cousin Michael had a job. He was running VCU Hibbs Dining. So he put the family on. We all working there. Got to know VCU basketball team. Coach Smith, Sonny Smith was the coach. Mike Ellis was the assistant coach. My dad got in with them. And I used to sneak in the Franklin Street gym.
Right.
And ball.
I've never been in Franklin.
Oh, man.
Wait. I haven't been.
The girls used to play there at first.
Right,
That's how old it was.
Right.
I used to sneak in there and ball. I'm balling them people up in there. Then I would stay in there. Instead of being there at work in the kitchen, in the dining, I'm in Franklin Street gym hiding out, shooting by myself. I'm playing 5-2 horse by myself.
Yeah.
It's kind of dark. And I keep seeing this dude on the top. He looking at me.
Yeah.
So days go by, and I'm in there every day, and he in there now. It's another dude with him, this and that. And my dad was like, "Yo, they trying to give you a scholarship. They've been watching you play basketball." I'm like, "What you talking about?" They was gonna give me a scholarship to play for VCU.
I did not know that.
I didn't do it.
Right.
I didn't have faith in myself or anything like that.
But you got to call it what it is. I'm gonna give you props for a second before you go any further. You was a bucket.
I was just doing it to have my dad come to games, and just have something to play basketball with my dad, to have time with him, because that's what he did.
But the thing was, like, people use the term with basketball today and call like high clip or like a high shooting. If you got the ball, the chances of you missing were low. It's like, I think that's why whenever we play together, they'd be like, "Oh, they both about that." I'm like, pick your poison. If you stop me, you gotta stop him. If you shut him down, I'm taking over.
Just went out there to have fun.
Yeah, true.
I think when Mel passed away, I stopped playing ball. Because that's what we did.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, Mel was, he definitely, now you like times that you would be in your zone about balling, he would be the next one to come up.
Yeah,
Brian, what's up, man? Just
Mel was on it.
And it was literally like a bounce. It's like energy. It's like bouncing ideas and bouncing it, because everybody wants to play at a high level. This is this is one good question I'll ask, and then we'll do pass the message. And this is your personal opinion. Do you think since Kobe passed away that more basketball players are playing harder or giving more effort to the game? I know that's a loaded question.
I don't know, because you got to look at what he played with. Finger.
Right.
The man played with a tore ACL.
Yeah.
He still shot free throws. Yeah. He still played.
Right.
You got stars that's making so much money that won't even play with a toenail bruise.
Right.
Or their fingernail messed up. Or something like that.
Yeah, I still want, because I'm still got the what if in my head about Kawhi and PG, if they ever going to.
Exactly.
Another conversation.
Exactly. So the mentality is, the Mamba mentality is not there for everybody don't have it.
Right.
And it's either you get accustomed to it, or if that's how you feel, if you're comfortable in yourself. Kawhi obviously is comfortable, because I know the feedback. I know he hear it. And
of course.
He don't care.
Yeah, it's a business.
That's how you see it. It's a business.
Right.
So everybody to each his own, go hard.
Right.
Like, to go hard.
I think I guess my better question is, in videos that you may or may not have seen, I won't say on the NBA level, it's a business. College level,
it's a business.
It's really a business. But I'm looking at, like, I don't even want to say high schoolers, because it's a business for them too.
Yeah, it is.
It's with the NIL stuff, but like just kids who are like trying to play ball that are really like, look, I can ball, or even guys that do like different videos, like, because this is why I asked that to make that statement. I look at everyone that's played against, like, the Frigas, the Mats, the Chris Weiss, the Nick Briggs, everybody that's playing against them, trying to go at them. And it's like, I get it that you're trying to get that highlight moment, or you're trying to be that standout factor.
Yeah.
But these dudes, like, y'all, they want it just as bad as y'all do, as far as, like, we're coming to your court to bust y'all.
Yeah.
So you can bring it how you want to bring it, but we play like how we play for a reason.
How we play.
Yeah. So I just think about that with different players, like the dedication to the game, because I feel like the passion, it fluctuates, right? Like it's some guys who, we always hear the theory of, like, LeBron plays, he invests $1 million into his body. We look at different players who are like, I'm about trying to give, what I can to the game. And some players, it's like I've said this to people, and you'll understand this clearly, because, like, for you would have experienced it about 20 years ago, because that was when, Jordan retired 03, 04, 04, maybe 05. Like, because after he got the second three, it was like, I'm just coasting. I mean, there's nothing else you need to prove. But what I'm saying is, like, in the next 5 years, maybe, Steph Curry, James Harden, LeBron, Durant. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys will get ready to retire.
I know.
And it's like, is the ball being passed to, like, the torch, is it going to be passed in good hands?
You never know. Hell, I just saw a trailer for Giannis. Giannis got a movie about his life.
Yeah.
Like him and his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought seeing this scrawny kid?
Yeah, because his rookie year, he won't build it anywhere close to
the name you couldn't pronounce.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody looked at his. I thought it's funny because when we, like from our era, would have been Zerbiak. When Zerbiak was in the league, I thought his joint was like impossible to pronounce or spell. And I looked at Giannis' last name, I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's like you never know who's going to be who or anything.
Right.
Hell, they say Tim Duncan was supposed to be a swimmer.
Yeah.
He wasn't thinking about basketball.
Yeah, and then he went on to like become one of like the best power forwards in basketball that never gets talked about. But
I don't even think he's one of. I think he is the best power forward basketball. Best power forward in basketball.
I won't give any pushback because I think Tim Duncan he earned his keep.
Yeah,
like there's just like they put up somebody did a video the other day of saying who was better between Dirk and Garnett. And you know me. Yeah. I'm easily like, okay, Dirk was good.
Yeah, Garnett played both ends of the floor.
Garnett was the two-way player before the two-way player was even a term.
Intimidate on defense. He could give you the buckets on offense, this and that. Same thing with Tim Duncan, but Tim Duncan was just
a more quiet. He was consistent.
He was consistent.
He was don't get me wrong, like Garnett was consistent, but Tim Duncan was more consistent. Yeah. And then there was also like the productivity of, I think the Spurs knew how to build for a championship. The Timberwolves were just building. They didn't know what they were building. And then when you got to Boston, here it is, you got three players that were in their pure prime, and it's like you either got a 2 to 3 year window to get a championship, and sure enough, they got one.
They got it.
As long as they got one. And I think that's the thing. Like, if you get one, like, even if he didn't get one in Boston, he was still won it all.
Yeah, of course.
Easily.
Of course.
So we're at our fun hour mark, and we've talked about a fair share. Before we wrap up, I always give guests, or not guests, because you're not a guest, family. I always like to give people who come on my show a final thought to share with the listeners. So when you were on the show at that time, I was still figuring out what I wanted to do with the podcast. I was all over the place. And as we learn, like now, and even in this show, this is probably one of my few non-tech talk shows, but I'm okay with that. But now, like, I always make sure, like, at the end of the show, you get a good message, something for people to walk away with, something for them to remember and say, hey, this is how I can become better. This is what you might need to work on. It's your open forum of whatever you want to share. So, this is I call it like the last hurrah, the closing remark type deal, but I don't call it the closing remark. I call it pass the message and honor the podcast. So, whatever you got.
I don't know. That's a good question, man.
Whole lot. Look, that's a whole lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's a whole lot right there. As for me, only thing I could say is to everybody, and it's mainly for me, just love yourself. Right. Can't nobody love you, and you can't love nobody if you don't love yourself first. Yeah. Know your worth. Double it, divide it, multiply it, and then add forever times whatever to it. And just love yourself and know that, you're not lucky you loved. That's a song I've been listening to a whole lot. You're not lucky you loved. Okay. And it's another song called You Will Win by Jocelyn Carr. And one of the main lines in there it's two main lines in there that I love, where she says, you can't be a winner and look defeated. Wow. And the second one is, which I hold more closely than anything, is anybody can fight, but can you win? Yeah. So you gotta have the drive to win. Definitely. True. So just because you feel like life's beating you up, and you feel like you can't hold on, the only thing you gotta do is just get up. Once you get up, you can see things clearly. Right. You can't see a lot from laying on the ground. or from having a pity party, because when you have a pity party, you open up the door to invite them people.
Pandora's box. Yeah.
And them the type of people you don't want in your party.
Right.
So, just love yourself and know your worth and your value.
Yeah. And
you will want to do better. You will want better. You will need better. And that's more of a message for myself.
Okay.
So.
All right. I like that.
That's it.
Got you.
That's it. You need to start. You need to ask people top 5 questions and go through category. Top 5 music. Your mental state. Top 5 feelings.
Listen.
This is at the top 5.
Top 5s are always So I'll go into my past the message in a second, but the top 5s are always. Top 5s always get fun because so it becomes what happens with that is. It becomes like it's almost like a funnel of like, okay, I asked you this top 5, and let's say you do top 5 albums, and you name these albums. That then puts me in a position of I might have a whole nother set of questions that I might even want to think of asking, but then I'm like, hold up, why did you put this album? Explain.
That's the dialogue, but that's the dialogue. True. That's the thing.
No, and I'm saying it like that because it is something to consider, and like I said, I think because. We talked about it before the show. I don't think we talked about it during. Angie Martinez, still hands down one of my favorite radio personalities. Her podcast she did with J. Cole.
I gotta check that out.
Like literally, it was an open dialogue because, like, if you noticed during this show, I didn't have any questions. I didn't write anything down. I don't know if she did or didn't during hers with J. Cole, but like I've learned with having guests on, I've learned to be scripted without a script.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
So that's why I don't get me wrong. Like if it's I need to come up with questions to like break ice, then cool. But we got into a 1 hour conversation. Like a friend of mine, shout out to Jacoby, my bro. He's been like one of my biggest supporters with the podcast. He listened to my last show and he was like, I don't see how you can sit in front of a microphone for an hour talking to yourself and just go. And I was like, you can, but it's. A lot of people can get lost in their words or their thoughts when they do it. Like I've seen people do it, and I mean, obviously, we're at 340 some episodes, so I mean, I know that way of doing it. But on the same token, like it took a lot of learning to like get to that point with the show. So I will take and me, I'm all about feedback. If it is because dropping top 5s on people would be easy. Because the first thing I could say is like, for instance, I could say. Name 5 apps on your phone that you love using.
I don't even got 5, I don't think. But yeah, I can name 5 though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
I can name 5.
Like
it might surprise a few.
When it's like I know, for instance, like I would surprise somebody because I would tell somebody Safari is one of my favorite apps to use because I'm searching for stuff 24/7. Cash App, not Cash App. No, Messenger. I message people all the time, especially when I send out quotes. Which, by the way, is crazy because I think you've been you're probably like one of the longest term people that's been getting my quotes since like the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'll think about that because this top 5s are always cool because there's certain stuff I like. That alone, I could run with so many directions. Because I could name something like top 5 crystals or top 5 shoes.
It's different things with the top 5. It's different things you come up with.
But this one was like for this show it was just a laid back. Because I'm just like this is impromptu.
It's good. I'm good. I feel much good. I feel good.
Yeah.
Feel better.
I
want to. I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm good. I needed this.
I know you did. That's why when I told you where we was meeting, I was like, all right, I don't mind. It's something to do. And plus, like I said, I got pretty much an open dialogue. I got 2 things I got to go do, but the 2 things I have aren't like drastic because I just need to make sure the person who I'm meeting with, time is money.
Oh, man.
Pass the message. That's my message. No, honestly, so my message, 1, before I go into my actual message, well, 2 now, because I already said it earlier. 1, thanks for coming on the show, or 2, whatever.
It's over.
We sit and talk about different stuff, but then it's like we just need to like be family and be bros and just sit down and like shoot the breeze. Like our last we've had like house sit downs where we sat and chill, but our one sit down that no one knows about that I'm sharing on this show because I can was I went to I think I had been at the hospital for a little bit and I was working second shift. Matter of fact, I just went over to second shift and I was working doing transport. I was downstairs and you hit me up. It was a Saturday. He was like, "Bro, what you doing?" I said, "I'm chilling." "Hey, we need to go out. I got a lot to talk about. I need to get this all on my chest." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I had little to no anything in my name at that time. And we went to Breakers on Broad. They made probably the most unique version of a trash can I've ever had.
I think I had like two, 3?
4.
I had 4.
We had 4-piece. We had 4-piece. Literally. Ooh. Because it was that type of night.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you talk with someone, and this is something that I think is very underrated, when you can converse with someone, like right now we're at a library, but we're talking like we're not at the library.
Yeah.
Like even if this room, like the room is a good enough sound where nothing is like bounced out, and like people have listened to my shows, they know I'm like big on sound, so like it doesn't sound like, oh my god, audio bouncing anywhere. But it's like we just sitting there having a regular everyday conversation. But it's just like I tell people, guests coming on the show is like we're talking. Like we have an everyday talk, but it's a microphone between.
You got
That's
to.
the only difference.
Got to.
But that particular night, like when we was there, I don't even know who else was there that night. Like it was so much other stuff going on, but I really didn't pay any attention to it. It was just like we sat there and just like you unpacked. I think that was what started, which we never did. Which I don't know if I want to do it. Is the we're supposed to do like the top 100 athletes of all time or something.
Oh man!
And we was gonna pick like 10 people from each sport. But we never sat down.
Never did it.
But I will say, like, shout out to my boy Patrick. He was on the show last year because he did that. He helped me.
Patrick be on it.
Listen, let me give you quick context without giving quick context. This is gonna be a little wordy. We went to City Beach over on Main Street. I'm sorry, not Main Street, on Cary Street. We're in City Beach. He doesn't drink, which is cool. I ain't had that much money to my name, and I really didn't want to go out like talk about it because I was kind of like, I don't know how this is gonna go. But you know, when we went along, I rolled with it because I needed to get out of the house anyway. He was able to help me through finishing up my coding classes at the time. But we sat down and like got all the players, figured out everybody who like the 100 that we could come up with for that list, and like literally categorized everybody by like seeding and all that. So when y'all saw the bracket, that was just like, okay, the bracket was done. But it was like, we sat there and had to figure out who's going in what tier, who should be in this list. Because I think, and it's funny because even after where the playoffs have carried us right now, Chris Paul's still number one. I think he won the tournament.
Yeah, he did.
The one because it was a player championship. You know, players who needed the most. But yeah, like just I say all that because it's like you really just never know where people are, how things can benefit you. And it's like our friendship has been like, regardless how shit go, people always talk because I think you're one of the few people that understand. And I had somebody tell me this last week, and it smacked me in the face. So most people at the club, I was unapproachable because I was quiet. I didn't really talk to people. But deep down, I needed that, like, hey, just talk to me. If you sit down and you figure out who I am and what I'm into, we got a whole conversation. And the more people did that, the more I understood, like, okay, I actually have a voice, which got me to podcast full circle. So my message I'm passing along is just, like I said, thanks for being on the show. But like my message to everyone listening is, don't be quiet when you have something to say.
Always.
And what I mean by that is you never know who needs to hear what you have to share. I mentioned this earlier on in the show. My friend listened to my podcast and literally it was like he felt like I was calling him out and I wasn't. It was just a general podcast about things that was on my mind and things because I didn't do a show for like a month. And so when I came back on that show, I aired it out. And when I started talking about stuff, he was like, dang, you really put some thought into it. Like one of the things I said on there, you got to have 5 people. And everyone may not have a 5. You might have 3.
Yep.
Having those people that's like, look, I need to talk, or hey, is this a good time to talk?
Mm-hmm.
Like those conversations and those spaces are very underrated because some people need it, even when they got somebody in their house that they can talk to that might just not be that person they want to talk to. And I had to like really hone in on learning how important that was. But yeah, just if you have a thought, don't hold it for the sake of hurting. Because I think we spend so much time hurting people's, like worried about, oh, I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings, or I'm gonna offend somebody, or you might react a certain way. And it's like, look, you can't give a person a chance to react to something that you never said. If you don't say it, then they'll never know it. And that's like one of my videos, probably one of the, it wasn't funny, but at that particular night, it was like I already was on like a high adrenaline, and it was like late, and I said, this is probably going to be one of the most animated. And I was very intensive saying like, don't give a person a chance to feel a way about something without giving them the opportunity. Like give people the opportunity to feel like in advance. Don't just say, well, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't know how you was going to feel. You don't know what, give me a chance.
And that goes back, as you say, full circle to what I was saying earlier, how I wasn't posting pictures with all the kids, or I wouldn't post a picture with one child because I wasn't around posting pictures with the other child, and I didn't want them to feel some type of way.
Right.
So as everybody got older, you know, and I told them how I felt, they said, "Dad, you stupid. I don't care about no picture. You could take a picture with this one." And the other one said, "Yeah, you could take a picture with that one. I'm not there. I'm doing my own thing."
Yeah.
That don't mean you don't love me.
And in hindsight, they all love each other regardless.
Yes. So I was just like, okay, you know, and it goes to what you're saying. Don't make somebody feel a certain way without saying
giving them
something.
a chance,
or you letting them explain, or giving them why they feel that way.
Yeah.
You know, because then what we do as dumb humans, we get mad
over something we shouldn't even be mad about in the first place.
Now I'm mad. Why you mad at me? I'm mad at you. For why? Why you mad at me?
Right. Without giving like a true, like, this is what I'm really mad about.
How I used to be mad at Jermaine Taylor for the half court one hand shot that used to go in. But I'm still mad at him for doing that though.
Right.
Even though I know he gonna do that though. I'm like, come on, man.
You gotta stop. I mean, yeah. And I mean, even on a random 2% factor, even though I'm not a fan of him for some of his off-court stuff, but the Karl Malone and John Stockton pick and roll. You can't be mad at a play that works.
Can't be mad
if you can't stop. The only way you can be mad at it is stop it.
Yeah, you can't be mad.
I
can't be mad at Juno for saying he dropped 30 on me because I don't even remember Juno playing basketball.
We might have to make that.
I need to see the footage on that.
We might have to do a four. Yeah. I got a roundtable discussion I want to have, but I got to get everybody on board because I want.
Can you imagine being infamous for a missed layup?
Worse than James Howard.
The James Howard, like, come on, man. I thought about that the other day. I seen him on Facebook. I thought about it the other day. Like, man, Mr. James Howard.
Yeah.
A missed layup is called a James Howard.
And that is crazy because my circle, they hear me say it all the time. They be like, James Howard.
I say it at the park. Now they be saying it at the park.
Yeah.
My nephews even say that now. They don't even know who James Howard is.
Never met him. Never seen. We saw it in person.
Saw it in person. They don't even know who James Howard is. James Howard could give you some buckets, but he wasn't good for a layup.
He would give you buckets outside the paint. Inside, you can forget it.
Couldn't make a layup, which was backwards. You defend somebody that stopped him from going to the hole.
And you would let him go.
Just let him go. Yeah. Let him go, man. Like,
any social plugs before we go? Or you want to just keep it low profile?
Hey, family over everything. We all we got.
Yeah, if you look up FOE and WAWG, hopefully we'll see if his hashtag is getting pulled on there. But if not, we been a big bro for years, man. We always talk, we always rap. Like I said, everything happens how it happens. But the good part is like we gonna stay through and through, like on whatever.
We went from King's Dominion Ride Warriors.
Oh my God.
To drinking buddies.
And it started with me shooting. Man. It started with me being at the club and just shooting a couple jumpers, and you just was like, and because the funny thing was nobody knew this, and I know we said we was gonna wrap up, but the funny thing is, there weren't many left-handers at the club when I was coming up.
It's just you and Jermaine.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah. Because like a couple years after I played, then it was Keith.
Yeah.
There was a couple other guys.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was just him, the two of us.
That's it.
So whenever we would play and we would be on the same team.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, but my famous move, and I'll say this and then I'll leave it be, was I had two. One was, especially if it was like, okay, I got to bring the ball down, cool. I'd take the ball. We was playing short way. Soon as I get the
60.
ball, yeah. But it was quick.
Yeah,
it was a quick 60. It wasn't no like, oh, you got to wait a while. It was you was gonna get a run. But we would play. They'll throw the ball into me. I'd probably take about 4 steps. Wouldn't even get to half court and just chat. And I knew they want threes, but I was like, I'm giving y'all the message to step up. Like step up now, because if you don't, I'm shooting this every time.
Yeah.
And so doing that would then force players to come up, and I'd be like, now the middle open. So it was about playing ahead of the game. So I had that play. And the second one, I was never going to ever dunk ever a day in my life. And no one knew that except the people who was really close to me. So every time I would get the ball and I'm like, oh, I'm on a fast break, I would throw it off the backboard knowing I wasn't going to dunk.
Yeah.
And I would just sit down there and just lay it in. Because I knew I wasn't fast, but I was fast enough to get to where I needed to go.
Yeah.
Like that's what separates a lot of players in basketball. And we sometimes forget that. But yeah, man, like we can sit here and rock ball. So many different things on this ball in life. But like I said, I appreciate you coming on. This ain't the last show, as y'all know. We made, I don't know. I don't care about the draft. I really want to talk about the upcoming NFL season to see what if any other weird trades happen that I make. But I also want to wait.
My Steelers hurting on this schedule.
Yeah.
Schedule is ugly.
Yeah.
We starting off 0-4. Yeah, it's ugly.
And even worse, like rest is so like, and then with Haskins passing, that's still like crazy. But yeah, we're just rolling with the season, rolling how I go. Carolina. I don't even know who our quarterback is right now because we ain't got Cam. So
yeah,
but
so it should be good. You think Dallas gonna get swept?
Yes.
You think so? I think they're gonna win one. I got them winning one.
I'm gonna say this about this, and then we'll wrap up our show because I know I promised y'all that was like part 3, but I'm gonna say this: it's not gonna be what Luka does. It's gonna be what Spencer Dinwiddie, what Jalen Brunson, like those guys are. Because you got to think of it like this: Jordan Poole is killing them off the bench.
Yep.
I don't like that the media is doing this, and I've already talked about this before, where media does things that doesn't make sense. They're putting this whole Clay and Poole don't like each other narrative out there.
Trying to make something.
And I'm like, why can't they just both be good basketball players? And let's also call it what it is. Klay Thompson is not young.
Yeah.
Like, Jordan Poole just got drafted a couple years ago.
It's always like that. They always try to, it's the media always trying to make something more than what it is. Just to have a story, something to write about. Just have something to write about. Huh?
But I don't like that. And I think that's why, that is a big part of why I've kind of pulled away from sports like I have. Mm-hmm. At first, I used to be like, oh, I love talking about this, and this is so, and now I'm like, y'all just getting a story just to get a story.
Last night, I would have actually pulled away from basketball, NBA.
Really?
If they would have called the offensive foul
on Wiggins,
that
was weird.
I would have been done.
I actually was looking at that game.
And shouldn't even have went to a replay. He shouldn't even call the whistle in the first place.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Like Luke even gave credit after the game because he knew it was like, I got dunked on.
It shouldn't even went that far to that point.
Yeah.
I was gonna be done with watching NBA basketball.
But yeah, I'm gonna say Golden State in 4.
In 4?
Uh-huh. And
who they playing?
They playing Miami.
You think so?
I don't, because, all right, I'm gonna ask you it like this: Tatum, Brown,
both
Williams, and Marcus Smart. After that, who else?
And we got the old man, Al Horford.
But Horford's been, I don't really, like, this ain't Horford that came from Florida.
But without Jimmy Butler, what Miami got? Tyler Hero's not really a hero.
And they say he's out. He will be out the next game. But see, you know what? I don't think anyone gives him his credit. So there are two X factors for Miami that no one's talking about. Oladipo,
which shockingly surprised me.
No, he was a number 2 pick.
I know that, but being a Pacer fan,
I know,
and him doing that,
But I mean, you think of you just look at his career overall, and you really look at what he's known for. Like we talked about it earlier. He's a strong base defender. He doesn't have to be that option in scoring, but having him doesn't hurt. And I mean, with the team they have, like you have Oladipo. I'm not going to, because a lot of people got a love-hate thing about Kyle Lowry. Another conversation, another show. I'm going to more so look at Adebayo.
Yeah,
because if Adebayo can get if Adebayo can give you 18 to 24, 25, that's all you need. And he can give you the rebound. Because there really isn't anyone that's going to stop. The closest thing that can stop him is Williams. Because and Robert Williams has started to.
He getting in his own.
Yeah, because let's call it what it is. He was at Texas A&M. I did not think he was that guy.
Me neither.
When he got to the NBA,
I still didn't think he was that guy.
Same. And it's like it was just a sudden breakout. But yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap the show up. We're gonna do our offline pass close up talk BS fluff. But I know y'all got like an extra. That was an extra tidbit outside the norm. But until I won't say next week because supposedly my podcast platform is confirmed I do shows monthly, so I'm gonna stick to my next month, but it might be another week. You never know. I might do another show later on today. I don't know, but I will catch y'all on the flip side. All right, peace.
Do you think?
Well, that was definitely a fun show. I hope you all learned something. I hope you all gained some information either about myself or about yourselves, because I know with the message that's passed along, it's usually meant to do a little bit of reflection, maybe some shadow work. Not sure. All about your niche or lane. But I want to take time and utilize this section to share. Thank you to anyone who has taken time to listen to the show, to subscribe to the show, to leave any comments, to leave any feedback. If you want to leave any information, the pastbtpod@gmail.com. Podcasts are uploaded using Buzzsprout, probably one of my favorite platforms to be on. And to all my artists, if you know that you have a gift, share that gift with the rest of us because we're waiting. Until next time, this is the Past signing out. Peace.